It's Thursday, March 13th, and here's some of the news beyond the headlines. Colorado rakes in $2 million in first month of legalization. Legal weed is bringing green to the state of Colorado. Since recreational pot was legalized last month, smokers have packed some $2 million in tax revenues into the state's coffers. Medical marijuana has brought in an additional $1.4 million. And it's only getting higher. So say legislators, who pointed out that only a fraction of pot stores are ready for business on day one. Governor John Hickenlooper predicts total taxes and fees will exceed $35 million by June. In January alone, Colorado's pot sales topped $14 million. The first $40 million raised in pot taxes and fees will go to school construction and improvement. Israel passes law meant to draft ultra-Orthodox. Ultra-Orthodox Jews are no longer exempt from being drafted into Israel's military. Israeli lawmakers on Wednesday passed a controversial law that requires nearly everyone to serve in the military. The nation's ultra-Orthodox men had been exempt to forego the standard 3-year military service for religious studies since the nation's founding in 1948. The move to change this has sparked a series of protests. But secular and less religious Israelis have complained that the ultra-Orthodox are not doing their fair share. The UN says North Korea is avoiding sanctions. North Korea has been evading sanctions using sophisticated financial schemes and by conducting illegal arms sales from its embassies around the world. That's according to a new United Nations report. North Korea has managed to keep these transactions out of sight by using the same money laundering techniques used by international drug cartels. According to the report, North Korea has gotten even more brazen. Its authors say the country's missions in Cuba and Singapore had tried to arrange for Cuban fighter jets and missile parts to be smuggled back home aboard a container ship. Panama intercepted the ship as it passed through the Panama Canal and seized the illegal cargo last July. Protests escalate into violence in Turkey. Tens of thousands of demonstrators have flooded the streets in cities across Turkey to protest the death of a 15-year-old injured during clashes with the government. The boy, Berkan Elvan, died Tuesday from head injuries he sustained during anti-government protests last summer. He was reportedly on his way to buy bread when he was caught in clashes between the police and protesters in Istanbul's Gezi Park. He has become a symbol of the Gezi Park protests and of the government's harsh response. Police fired tear gas on some of the protests that followed his funeral, an ironic response to rallies that had called for an end to police brutality. Check out the VICE News YouTube channel for more original reporting and documentaries around the world.
The bottom line is, we all have choices in this industry. Is my workforce a commodity? Are they no different than a package of batteries on the shelf? Or are they a person?
Я думаю, это абсолютно нелегитимен, и власть, захваченная бандитами в Крыму, и с этим нужно что-то делать, мы мириться не будем.